Hello, I'm Dr. White with Highland Park Animal Hospital. I'm here to talk to you about some dermatology today. I'm going to have my assistant Joel read out some questions to me and we'll talk.
Dr. White, what causes skin problems in dogs?
So, we have a lot of reasons that cause skin problems in dogs. In Texas, our most common cause is actually flea infestation or ticks, followed pretty closely by allergic skin disease, whether that's food or environment. But we certainly also see contact irritation, autoimmune diseases, infectious stuff, quite a variety. So, we certainly have things we see more often, but that's not always the answer.
Are dermatology issues painful for my dog?
Absolutely. We know very well that itchiness, pruritus, chewing, scratching is quite painful. Most humans will report they can't sleep through the night, they're miserable, and we often see that in our pets too. So, absolutely, it's very uncomfortable.
What are some signs and symptoms that my dog may have a skin condition?
So, our most common things that we're going to see is itchiness. For dogs, that can look like scratching, but it's much more common that we're going to see that as chewing or licking or rubbing. So, you may see your dog rub its face on the ground or its back end on the ground. You may see dogs lick or almost corn cob chew up and down their arms. That's kind of our most common signs that we're going to see for dogs who are really itchy.
What tests will be performed to diagnose my dog's skin condition?
So it really depends on what we see on exam. So we can do anything from cytology to skin scraping to all the way to biopsy. We're always going to start with an exam because that's really going to help guide us on what our next steps are and what level of concern we have.
Excellent. What are some common skin problems in dogs and how are they treated?
So I'd say the things that we see most commonly here are going to be hair loss, skin lesions, whether that's little pimples or red bumps, or even ulcerated areas, or some people call them hot spots, same thing. Anywhere from that. You also might just see bright redness or changes of the hair coat, like it's brittle or oily. Those are kind of things we see most commonly. As we get into the weirder, more problematic conditions, we might see some more intense things like really severe skin lesions or changing color of hair and things like that. Not just old dog changes, like complete loss of pigment, things like that.
What happens if my dog's skin problems go untreated?
So the biggest concern we have is can we end up leading to systemic infection? So we'll see dogs have really severe skin infections that will end up with really enlarged lymph nodes. They don't feel good and they may even develop a fever, especially with something acute like really bad hot spots or with autoimmune diseases. It may be the first sign of something that's actually much more serious where they're going to actually start getting other organ issues. Obviously, that's not our most common thing, so the most common thing we're going to see is just really severe infections in a miserable pet.
Nice. Can you explain the difference between atopic dermatitis and contact dermatitis?
Yeah, so atopic is one of the things you're going to think about as chronic allergies. So atopic dermatitis is dog's version of human allergies. So if you've met a human who has something like chronic asthma, chronic rhinitis, they've seen an allergy doctor. Usually they're allergic to something in the environment. So pollen being the most common, like trees, grass, ragweed, all the same things dogs are allergic to. They just express their allergies quite different than us. Instead of having mucous membrane swelling or sneezing, they express it through their skin. So atopic dermatitis is truly an allergic chronic dog. Contact dermatitis is more like if you have something that touches the skin and it irritates it in that area. So you'll see it on places like their bellies or maybe around their eyes. So places basically where you don't have as much hair is usually where you see it. It can be pretty hard to tell at home, to be honest. Never hurts to give them a bath. Make sure that's not part of what's going on. But if it's more than a day, I'd still recommend coming in.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time today, Dr. White.
Welcome.